Guru coming to you live from my home office. Adjust this. I'm using my phone today, guys, so kind of bear with me. But the quality on the phone is way better, the video quality. So I decided to do my live, and I didn't announce my live because I was actually contemplating what I was going to do today. And I've been reading this book. I know if you've been following me, I've been reading this book. Of course, you see it's backwards. It's called Man Up, and it's how to cut through the BS and kick butt in business and in life. Of course, so if you got a mirror, hold this up to the mirror, and maybe you can read it. But I just got finished reading this book, and what I'm going to do over the next couple of weeks is I'm going to be sharing some of the excerpts from the book. But I really would encourage you to take the time to get this book and read it. I'll leave a link in the comments after I do this live to where you can go to Amazon and pick this book up. Again, I highly recommend it, especially if you're an entrepreneur or you're wanting to be an entrepreneur, or if you're already in business. One of the things about this book is, about manning up and womaning up and becoming the best that you can be. And here we are in 2019. I know a lot of people are making New Year's resolutions to be better, to become better. And this book really would help you in that. Now, what I'm going to be doing there are what Bedros Keullian is the author of this book. He's one of the mentors that I follow, and he's got what he calls the 6 pillars of effective entrepreneurial leadership. And I'm gonna go through each pillar and kind of give you a synopsis of this book. Of course, again, you really got to read it, and again, I always recommend, one of the things that I found out is that most millionaires, and you can write this down, most millionaires read an average of 50 books a year. And so that's something like what, 6, it's like 5, whatever. It's at least 4 books a month. So every week they're reading a new book, and so the point is that if you're an entrepreneur, whether you're an online marketer, network marketer, whatever, we've heard this term time and time again about personal development. And if you don't develop yourself personally, you cheat yourself out of becoming more effective and being better at whatever it is that you're doing. But I'm going to jump right into it, and I'm going to be reading out the book a little bit. So if I'm looking back and forth, don't think that I'm not looking at you, but I'm trying to make sure I say this stuff right because I want to get it to you. But pillar number 1 is self-discipline. And it says if you can't lead yourself, then you can't lead a team. Self-discipline is needed in each of the following 3 categories. 1, your body. You need to keep your body lean and conditioned. You need to eat right, exercise hard, and get enough sleep. This is the difference between being energetic and unstoppable versus being sluggish and sick. And that's a big deal. Having self-discipline with your body impacts every aspect of your life and business. Let me say that one more time. Having self-discipline with your body impacts virtually every aspect of your life and your business. So if you let your body go to crap, watch how quickly your growth is neutered in business and in your personal life. Category number 2 is your mind. Only allow positive influences in your mind. Start by turning off the news and surrounding yourself with uplifting people. And make no mistake about it, keeping your mind free of negative influences takes concentrated, disciplined effort. Now, that's one that I struggled with for a long time. I had a lot of people in my life who had negative influences, and we all have people like that. And they're not just friends; they're family. They're people that we have trusted or known for a long time. And one of the things that I told my daughter a long time ago, I said there's 4 kinds of people in this world, and 4 kinds of people in your life. There's people that add to your life. There's people that subtract from your life. There's people that multiply and people that divide. Well, you keep the adders and the multipliers, and you get rid of the subtractors and the dividers, and that means anybody. I don't care who it is. There are people that I've known for 20 or 30 plus years who are no longer in my life, even indirectly. I don't deal with them. I don't want to be around them because they're like, I heard another term, they become like energy vampires. They just suck the energy out of you because they're so pessimistic and they're so negative. And if you're an entrepreneur trying to build something and trying to grow something, the last kind of person that you need around you is somebody who's going to destroy or talk against what you're trying to build. Like, oh, you'll never be able to do that. Nobody's ever been able to do that before. So that's really important, and it says here, you have to be ruthless in screening negativity out of your life. Your thoughts control your actions, and your actions control your outcomes. Let me say that again. Be ruthless in screening negativity out of your life, because your thoughts control your actions and your actions control your outcomes. Now, the third category is your time. As an entrepreneur, your days are often unpredictable and you don't have the tightest schedule. This creates a slippery slope towards chaos. It's vital that you hold yourself to a disciplined schedule. Do this by creating your attack list the night before. Now, that's something that I do. I try to sit down and I decide the 2 or 3 things that are most important that I need to complete the very next day. And I don't stop until I get those things done. One of the other things I do is I don't necessarily turn off social media, because social media is part of my business. But I'll turn my phone over and turn it upside down so I don't see it when those alerts come up, when texts come in, until I finish those 2 or 3 tasks that I've deemed to be most important. Now, and it says here, he says your attack list is made of 3 to 5 things that you're going to accomplish in your business that day. Go to sleep at the same time each night and wake up at the same time each morning, and then get started right away on your attack list. Nothing else happens until your attack list is completed. And this is how you control your mornings in order to control your day. Now, I know lots of people who, especially us as entrepreneurs or people who work from home, we have the luxury of getting up whenever we want and doing a lot of things what we want. But the downside to that is that you can become complacent. You can say, oh, well, I'm in charge, so I could do that tomorrow. So that's what that is. Like I said, that is the first pillar. Let me turn back to that so make sure I get that right. Where is it? I just turned to it. Well, either way, you know that's what happens when you're not always 100% prepared. But what I like to do is I like to come off. I just sometimes speak straight from the heart. I don't do a lot of scripted things. But what I've done is I've read you the very first pillar is self-discipline, and the 3 categories you need to be self-disciplined in is your body, your mind, and your scheduling. So remember, you need to eliminate negativity in every sense of the word. In reading in this book, he talks about this woman who he was, I think she was one of his, a business partner or something like that. And she complained, oh no, she was one of his students in one of his masterminds. And she complained about, she was always feeling anxious and always feeling like she was never getting enough done. And she didn't do this. And so she was stressed out all the time. So he asked her, what was her routine like? And one of the things that she did at night was she turned on the television and she had the news playing. And, a lot of times on the news, it's nothing but gloom, despair, and agony on me. And in her subconscious, even though she was asleep, that stuff was still going into her head. And she was listening to all of this negative news, and this was going wrong, and the world is falling apart. And that got into her subconscious, and it manifested itself into every day. When she woke up, instead of feeling rested, she was stressed out from the very beginning. So that's why it's important to eliminate that negativity and don't feed into that stuff. I don't watch television hardly at all. I get most of my information from the internet because I get to control what I see. And a lot of times the television today, it's just straight garbage. It's not like when I was growing up and we had good shows. And I'm going to show my age a little bit. I used to watch Andy Griffith and High Chaparral and Happy Days and Good Times and the Jeffersons and Sanford and Son. and there, television was more about entertaining. Now it seems like it's more about, well, how depraved and how shocking can I get, and how crazy can I act, and with all of these reality shows. And a lot of times they show the worst behaviors that you can imagine, and then people watch that stuff. And even though you say, hey, it's just entertainment, it does have an effect. It goes into your subconscious, and it feeds into a lifestyle, or a life that's not going to be your best life, because this 2019, and you want to be able to go into this new year with, we make those resolutions. We're going to lose weight, we're going to stop smoking, we're going to eat better, we're going to do all these things. And these are some of the very foundations of what you need to have in place in order to have more success, no matter what it is you're trying to do. So remember my motto. This is all I've got for you today. Remember my motto: the shortest distance between your dreams and reality is called action. So make sure you take action on some of what you learned today. I'll be, again, I'm going to be coming on. I'm going to do at least twice a week, like I did before. We'll have More Money Mondays and Thoughtful Thursdays. But for the next 4 or 5 lives, I'm going to be talking about this book. And again, I'm going to leave a description I'm going to leave a link in the comments where you can pick this book up. It's called Man Up. It's by Bedros Keullian. Again, I'm not trying to, I'm just trying to promote something that I know that's helping me, and I want to share that with you. So have a great day, great evening, whatever the time that you're watching this. If you're enjoying what you're getting from me, put a 1 in the comment. Let me know where you're coming from. If you're watching this on the replay, please put replay in the comments. Love, peace.